good. Nothing really substantial that happened. Pretty relaxing for once, actually.
That's good to hear. So I know last week we talked about journaling. Were you able to work on that?
I was. Um,
Oh, sorry.
I did, but I kind of felt like it was a little hard knowing where to start. So my first time, I feel like it was kind of like a chore to do, but then the more I did it throughout the week, the easier it was to like go and write down what I was feeling.
I know we talked about writing down times where you felt like you were being true to yourself or times where you distinctly felt like you weren't being true to yourself. What did you find out?
I noticed that while I was like at work, I felt like I was being very true to myself. But the times that I felt like I wasn't being as true to myself was interacting with my roommates a little bit more and like trying to please people in my life.
Do you feel like you have to please people?
I feel like it's just easier that way. Like easier to get along rather than necessarily say how I like truly feel about something and upset someone else as well as myself.
So I'm hearing you say it's easy. Essentially what I'm hearing is it sounds like it's easier to not upset the boat, to not disrupt the flow. What about conflict is making you kind of avoid that?
It just makes me really uncomfortable. And I feel like if I'm upset in a situation, rather than having both people be upset, I'll just try to end it, like move on, and then go deal with my stress by myself in my own way.
And what does that look like, dealing with the stress in your own way?
It's always a little different, but I did start to journal about the fact that occasionally I'll make myself like throw up if I feel like I need to control something, because if I get really stressed, sometimes I binge eat, and then that makes me feel worse after realizing that I just ate so many unneeded calories, and then to make myself kind of feel better after that is when I make myself throw up.
And how long has this been going on?
I would say a couple months now.
I mean, thank you for sharing that. It's a really powerful thing to be able to admit, so thank you for feeling comfortable enough to share that with me. What was it like for you to be able to open up like that?
Really scary because I've never told anyone before. And I know I shouldn't do it. I know it's not healthy to do. So it's kind of embarrassing to admit that I do that when I don't know how else to help myself feel better. So I just like hope like you're not judging me because of it.
I would like to let you know that, yeah, absolutely, I am not judging you for that. I would never judge you for anything that you tell me. So I want to continue to have you feel as comfortable as you have felt in sharing anything you want to share with me.
Thank you.
Have you told anyone else this, or am I the first person you're telling?
You're the first person I'm telling.
Have you ever wanted to tell someone before?
Yeah, because I'm really close with my mom, and I feel like if I were to tell her that like our relationship wouldn't change, like she wouldn't think of me differently, but again, I'm just really embarrassed, and she's so healthy, and I didn't want her to think less of me, I guess.
I know you've talked very highly of your mom in previous sessions, and you've talked about how you're very close. What about your relationship would make you think that she might see you differently if you disclose this?
I think part of it, I feel like she would be a little upset I didn't go to her sooner. So the fact that I'm keeping it from her for a couple months has like made it even harder to admit to her that it's something I'm struggling with. But then also the fact again that like she's so healthy, I feel like she may like really think less of me or judge me because I'm making such an unhealthy choice.
Would you feel comfortable talking about your mom possibly in the future about it?
I think so. Now that I was able to tell you, I feel like would be a little easier to tell someone else I feel comfortable talking to, and yeah, I hope I could get to that point.
And if you ever want to, and you would feel comfortable, I would totally be okay with us doing a role play type scenario where I essentially take the role of your mom and you can express the feelings you would like to express with her, and we can kind of work out how that might play out in this safe space where you've expressed that you feel comfortable enough to share, and then we can kind of talk about what that might look like, and we can see if that might be applicable to you talking in a similar fashion to your mother.
Yeah, I think that would really help. And kind of having like a plan of how I would say it, I feel like would make me feel a little bit more comfortable with it all.
Okay, so that's definitely something we can do. And I know before we touch on that, I know last time there was a couple times you talked about confidence, and I didn't really go into that, and I just wanted to bring that up in the session. I know there were a couple times where you said that you, outside of the sessions where you felt safe, soccer, your work, a lot of your feelings of anxiety were coming from not feeling confident. What about those spaces don't you feel comfortable or confident in?
I think it's just always hard for me to feel like I'm being like completely accepted by people. And I don't know where exactly it stems from or why, but I just always am like second guessing the things that are coming out of my mouth and if people are judging me for what I'm doing or saying, and it just makes me feel really uncomfortable a lot of the time.
Does that uncomfortability directly lead you to feel like you want to overeat?
I feel like when I get like really uncomfortable and sad like that, and I go home and I'm just like by myself, it's just really easy for me to like be in front of the TV and kind of get lost with my eating. And I feel like I kind of like almost black out. I know that sounds weird. And then I don't realize how much I've eaten, and then it makes me feel even worse. And I feel like the only thing I can do to like take back some control is to make myself throw up.